They don't have free speech in China. They don't have free speech in China. Bitch, neither do you.
Hey guys, today I want to talk about freedom, what it really means, how it's perceived. Why I think it's such a often misunderstood concept. So I've noticed a few comments on my videos saying things like China doesn't have freedom, and this is a very popular Western take. At first glance, these comments and points of view, they seem to be about politics or ideology, but I think there's often a deeper intention behind them to kind of downplay or ignore the progress China has made in other areas like infrastructure, economic growth, or social stability. But instead of focusing on those intentions, I just want to actually explore what freedom means, because it's not as black and white as some people make it out to be. So here's my opinion, here's my take. Absolute freedom doesn't really exist anywhere. Like, sure, in theory, you could do anything you want, even if it goes against societal norms or laws. But every choice comes with consequences. If you break the rules, whether they're legal or social, you have to face the fallout. That's true in every country, in every society. A lot of people point to freedom of speech as a way to criticize China. And obviously, different countries, they have different levels of tolerance for speech. In some places, you can say almost anything without any immediate repercussions, while in other countries, there are stricter boundaries. But let's be honest, absolute freedom of speech doesn't exist anywhere, not even in the US. I might be totally wrong, but if you make threats in America or the UK or Canada, or spread hate speech, or incite violence, you'll face legal consequences, right? No one's physically stopping you from speaking, but you'll have to deal with the fallout, whether it's from the law or society itself. You could even get, cancelled or face public backlash. And it's not just about speech, it's about actions too. Some people have this idea that in the US, if you own land, you can do whatever you want with it. But that's not true. For example, you might need a permit to cut down a tree in your own yard, or there could be restrictions on how you build or modify your property. In some states or cities, you can't even drink alcohol on the street. Meanwhile, in China, some of these things are completely fine. It's interesting how freedom can look so different depending on where you are. But, freedom isn't just about what you can say or do. It's also about what you're free from. For example, freedom from fear, feeling safe in your daily life is a huge part of what makes society truly free. In China, whether you're a child or you're a woman, you can walk alone at midnight without worrying about something bad happening. That's a level of security that many people take for granted, but it's a form of freedom that matters deeply. Then there's freedom from hunger. In China, if you have a full-time job, you can easily afford fresh vegetables, fruits, and eggs for every meal. You can look at my previous videos to see the prices yourself. That might not sound like a big deal, but when you think about it, being able to provide for yourself and your family without struggling is a fundamental kind of freedom. It's the freedom to live a stable and dignified life. Another thing I've realized is that when people accuse China of not being free, they often don't actually care about whether the people are free or living well. A lot of the time, it's just a form of prejudice, using a sort of a moral high ground to belittle others under the cover of a political argument. It's less about freedom and more about pushing a narrative. These are just, some of my thoughts. I'm open to discussing this further. I know it's pretty different from my previous videos, but it's just something that's been, I guess you could say, annoying me a little. But freedom is it's a pretty nuanced topic, and it's worth exploring from different perspectives. Well, as for the haters, well, they're welcome to their opinions, but I'm more interested in having a meaningful conversation with people who genuinely want to understand. Alright guys, if you like this video, if you found it interesting, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and let's keep the conversation going. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.